finally she said to me, if you had a project that you would really like to happen out here on the North Fork, a lesbian project, what do you think it could be? And because I was drinking a gallon and maybe 3 of Go Lightly, I said, wouldn't it be wonderful if we had some kind of fund to provide money for any lesbian on the North Fork who had health problems, any kind of health problem, and who couldn't, either didn't have insurance or had no way of paying for it. And I thought, well, that's the end of that. But you don't know Beva Eastman. Beva Eastman said, oh. And within the next 2 weeks, she had lined up Jan Swanson, who was in the health field. She had been a nurse, a psychiatric nurse, a lobbyist for nurses, and had talked to her about it. And Jan said, no, 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 I'm much too busy. I have no time for organizations. And Beva said, let's the 3 of us just have breakfast. And so we did. And the next thing you knew, Jan was organizing the thing. Beva kind of went into the background, as she always does. I got nervous, as I always do. And Jan simply organized the first board of the North Fork Women for Women Fund. She was the namer of the North Fork Women for Women Fund. We fought like fiends over the name. I had prepared a list this long of suggested names, but she had decided it was going to be the North Fork Women for Women Fund. And I said, it's going to sound like Noof Woof Woof, and people are going to bark, and it's ridiculous. And she said, in her inimitable fashion, it's going to be the North Fork Women for Women Fund. And guess what? It is.
Guess who had the last word?
Yeah. Jan, I think that's how you could describe Jan. She's a woman who frequently, if not completely, had the last word. But Jan organized it. Jan envisioned it. Jan put it together. We had our meetings generally here because, you know, we had room at the table, and it just flew.
Jan is nothing if not a detail person. So even in a party, you know, everything was just, you know, perfect for people to have a good time at. And those involved her. I mean, people always knew about her because she was, I don't know, why did they know about her?
She was gregarious. People wanted to meet her.
People wanted to meet her.
When did you meet her?
1979 or so. And I had a bit of a crush on her, like a lot of people.
You did?
Sure did, of course I did. And she told me I looked like Burt Lancaster. After she told me that Burt Lancaster was her favorite movie actor.
That did it.
So that did it.
She was just a doer. She was funny, gorgeous, hot. She was really hot. I mean, you fell in love with her. You couldn't help yourself. There was an attractiveness about Jan, aside from her physical self, her humor, her dry cynicism, and yet enormous generosity, enormous generosity. Nobody can imagine how many people she helped in every way.
She was enormously generous. She was raised in that tradition of tithing, so that whatever her income was, a certain part of it, I don't remember the percentage, but the whole family did it. The boys did it, she did it. Wow. So that helped her become involved.
She was not just a philanthropist, she was also, a very generous person. I mean, you can decide that you're going to spend 1/10 of your income and give it to charities without having that
she helped
human,
people in a very
caring impulse of wanting to help people and give to people.
Right.
She had that.
She never turned anybody down.
No.
Never.
Yet she'd give money to help people or institutions easily.
I can't imagine how much money through her and through this auction has come about, has been able to be dispersed into the community, on her behalf.
Yeah, and she left some money to Noof Woof Woof Woof, you know, which we all have to do to the best of our ability to keep this, you know, to endow this organization and make sure it lives on. As we can see, there are more and more women coming into our community all the time. I go to each benefit and there are still tons of women that are new to me. The board is always filled with newcomers who are interested in the organization and respect it and want to keep it going. Want to change it, which is good. You know, organizational change keeps it alive. And Jan would have been okay with that as long as she approved. And she's always around. I always feel that somehow or other she's standing at the table at the auction benefit, making sure the prices go as high as they can, taking the money in herself so that she could hold it in her hands, and counting it herself, and not letting anybody know till she was damn ready how much money had been raised. She was a force.